Each week we celebrate the Stonewall celebration that will take place on June 30th at World Pride in New York City, the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, and our modern civil rights movement for the gay community. Tonight, we celebrate Divine. And it's an exciting celebration. And before we begin, let's watch this little piece about Divine.
People like to laugh at sex, people like to laugh at dirty things, and people love to be shocked, I think.
You make my nips get hard.
So that's my job, to get out there and shock them.
Divine was dangerous. Part outlaw, part serial killer.
You, my dear, are dead.
Divine was a cinematic terrorist.
She was simultaneously sexy and monstrous. Is she gonna screw me or eat me?
She was a midnight movie star. You could only see her after midnight, but it was worth staying up.
The pediatrician told me that Glenn was more feminine, was masculine.
He got beat up every day at school.
I was very uptight about my weight and about the way I looked.
When Divine finally did go out, he met gay people, and then he went out with a vengeance. Divine was breaking the rules of drag and defying them by wearing stuff that a fat person would never wear.
John Woodard started to make films for our own enjoyment and to keep us out of trouble.
And that's how Divine got born. Immediately, everybody noticed it.
Anything that John asked Divvy to do, he would do.
Divine ate a dog turd, and I don't think anybody in the history of cinema is ever going to top that feat.
John and Divine became a phenomenon.
If they had any kind of name, he wanted to meet him. And guess what? He did.
Divine was probably your typical addict, shopping and love and drugs, at some point food.
He would pull a chair up to the refrigerator and eat out of the refrigerator.
He would say, "Come on, Ricky, let's share a pie. Let's eat a roast."
He was very depressed because he was trying to parlay this Divine character into an acting career as a man.
Before, it was just always this fat transvestite with a big candy floss wig. They couldn't see beyond the paint and the exterior.
He really wanted to be known as a character actor. It was really important to him.
He was such a gregarious, pink piece of flesh. We just figured he'd go on forever.
No one else can ever call themselves Divine. That's her legacy.
He stood for anybody that didn't fit in, that exaggerated what everybody hated, turned it into a style, and won.
I am Divine.
Well, we're celebrating our gay icon of the week in our road to Stonewall. Let's keep that slide up for a moment because we really have to look at that closely. Look at the picture at the bottom. That is who you think it is. I'm not even going to say the name in case I steal someone else's thunder away. But look at that picture closely and Divine's face.
Is Divine Sylvia Brown?
It was. That face that you're seeing there, it was a precursor into the future.
Totally.
Just telling you. All right.
I feel the same way.
Thank you, Jared, for holding that slide up. We are celebrating many different kinds of personalities. Divine is another different kind of personality in celebrating the gay community in our road to Stonewall. And that's the important thing of what I and all of us are proud to be associated with in this moment, to celebrate gay iconic moments and people in our march on the road to Stonewall. As we do this series, we do a celebration and we ask the hosts to participate. And each of the hosts are going to add something about our gay icon this week of Divine. And we're going to start with Sean Palacios.
She was on to something from the get-go. Look at her looking at Donald Trump like she smelled shit. She did. I'm kidding.
And ate it.
No, you're not.
I can't stand
Okay.
him. No, but I love Divine.
Yeah.
She has been an iconic member of our community for so many years, and I love her.
Yeah.
Love.
Carlos.
Well, as an illustrator, I love that the character Ursula from The Little Mermaid was inspired by Divine. But I also love the fact that we see this personality that's so outrageous, and he was actually very soft-spoken, very kind, and very generous. And one thing that he did say that I loved is he said, "You're awesome, and if someone doesn't see that, fuck them.
I love that. Right to the point.
I hear that. That's my mantra. So I think John Waters described her biggest accomplishment the best. He said that Divine's legacy was that he made drag queens cool. They were square back then. They wanted to be Miss America, or they wanted to be their mothers. He broke every rule, and now every drag queen that's successful today is cutting edge. Divine said, "I used to want to look like Elizabeth Taylor. Now Elizabeth Taylor looks like me."
Yeah! That's an awesome quote.
Besides Divine leaving a huge impact and influence on so many musicians and entertainment as we know it, he said, "Glenn is the name I was brought up with. Divine is the name I've been using for the past 23 years. I guess it's always Glenn and always Divine. Do you mean the character Divine or the person Divine? You see, it gets very complicated. There's the Divine you're talking to now, and there's the character Divine, which is something I do to make a living. She doesn't really exist at all."
Wow, that's great. I've never heard that one before.
Mr. Milstead said in a 1976 interview that he was part of the time-honored tradition of men playing women's roles. He said, "I don't do Judy Garland or Mae West, and I'm not a female impersonator. I'm an actor."
Nice.
Awesome.
Our road and salute to Stonewall includes Divine and many other prominent personalities, activists, in our salute coming to June 30th. Of course, we mentioned Hairspray and the inspiration of Hairspray, which became an institution. Divine starred in many John Waters B movies and other things, but to me, Divine represents the road to Stonewall as a gay icon, because these icons affect other gay people in very personal ways and in different ways. Divine, for me, reflects what happened at the end of Divine's life. And the jokes in that piece that we just did about Divine's weight and eating problem. For me, Divine was an inspiration and gay iconic because it was a motivation for me that my weight would lead me to the same conclusion, an early death.
Wow.
And as a result, I made a decision that I wanted to get healthier and eat healthier and lose weight and have a healthier lifestyle. And Divine helped millions probably of people to come to the exact same conclusion. And so for me, my salute of Divine is highly personal, related to those personal challenges of Just For Me, which makes Divine, in my opinion, a gay icon, worthy of our celebration of the road to Stonewall. So we celebrate Divine tonight. Watch each week as we celebrate through to June 30th, 2019, our 50th anniversary of the gay civil rights movement.